What's up, guys? It's your girl Penny here, and today I'm coming at you with a story time. We are talking about my toxic relationship. First of all, I've been out of this relationship for years now. It's been like 3 years or so. So I've been wanting to tell this story for so long. I'm so tired of carrying this baggage. Like, I'm unbelievably tired of carrying this baggage. So right now we're dropping this shit off, okay? We are dropping it off and we are letting it go. For this story, we are going to call him James. So James and I went to high school together. He was a grade above me and we had mutual friends. So we didn't really talk in school. We just had the same friends outside of school. So we were all hanging out one day and I just said to my friend, what's up with James? And she's like, oh, I don't know. And the next day I'm hanging out with my friend and she's like, oh yeah, so I told James you thought he was cute. I'm like, what? She goes, I told James and he's just not feeling it. I'm like, okay. I never had any real intentions on pursuing this or making this a thing. I was just asking. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And then a few months go by and he contacts me, we start texting. So from there, I really don't remember where the hanging out, the hand holding and all that stuff. I don't really remember where that happened. It kind of just happened. But I remember in the very early stages, when we were still talking, okay? I just got this feeling that there was someone else all up in the connection. I just could feel it. And so I asked him, is there something going on? What's going on? And he's like, oh, nothing, nothing. And I'm on his phone and the wind just kind of blew me to his messages and whoo, forecast is calling for a heavy wind, right to James's messages. So I click on the messages and he is texting another girl that goes to our school. And while I'm going to these messages, he's chasing me around for his phone. What are you doing? Give me back my phone. It's not what it looks like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just no, it's exactly what it looks like. I'm looking at it. It's exactly what it looks like. So we just continued to talk as if nothing happened because we weren't dating. But I didn't really brush it off. I was angry. I was pissed, actually. I was pissed because you didn't have to lie. I will always respect the truth way more. Whether it is something that I agree with or not, I'd rather you tell me the truth because I'm going to find out. Anyway, moving on. After this little incident, James tried to become this little saint, okay? To make me forget about what happened. And I did. He did a real good job. I did forget. He just kind of started worshiping the ground that I walk on, literally. Buying me what I want, doing what I want, picking me up, taking me wherever I needed to go. He just kind of became that person in my life. He kind of made it, not kind of, he made it so that I would think that I needed him. So that as long as I thought that I needed him, I could never leave. And crazy, I never put that together until just right now. One of our friends passes away. And this is the day where everything changes. So one of our friends passes away and we all go to the site and he had been ignoring me that whole day, okay? So timing bad. I shouldn't have went up to him at the crash site. I know you saw my text, but I did, okay? I was 16 or 17. I did. And he's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah, you're right. That was horrible. So I just left him alone, gave him his space, and we went to the funeral a few days later and he's ignoring me, which was weird because we had talked since this incident. And I'm like, okay, why is he acting all weird? What's going on? And I turn around and his ex-girlfriend's there and he just all of a sudden doesn't like me anymore. And he's just no, this isn't gonna work. I don't want you. And I'm just okay. Like, okay. And I'm telling you, it came from left field because remember, I told you he had become the person who was always there for me, did everything for me. Like, we talked all day, every day. We hung out like every day. Like, I mean, like, it's not like I just like made this up. Like, we were like, this was a thing. And he's like, no, not a thing. So I'm like, okay, he's really trying to act cute for his ex right now. Got it. That night, I went with some of my friends. And at this point in my life, I was a partier. That's what I did. I drank, did all that stuff. Now, drinking and me, we really just don't mix, okay? I used to think that we did because I had some fun nights, but you know, to keep it real, we don't click. We don't belong together, me and drinking. So I get drunk, I call him all emotional and shit, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like crying, begging for this person to like me or something. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. And I'm assuming he was with his ex. So he was just like acting like, oh, fuck you, you know? And I was like, hey, like crying, upset. So I remember feeling so empty, just like empty. Like, you are my man, and you are just like treating me as if I'm so disposable. I wanted to have the last laugh. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to feel my pain. So we're back together. But now at this point, he done met a brand new bitch, okay? I'm not here on that same energy anymore. I'm not feeling the same way anymore. Now you have really hurt my feelings. Like, I remember feeling my heart just shatter, my stomach just drop, and feeling like I was going to puke. Like, I just thought I was going to puke when the whole thing with his ex-girlfriend happened. So moving forward to us being back together, now he's like in love with me again, okay? So every time he fucks up, he comes back and he's like, oh, but babe, I just love you so much. You're so awesome. Here, do you want me to buy you this? Do you want me to buy you this? Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? You know, like that was now his role again. We were miserable together, absolutely miserable. At this point, I no longer cared about him, okay? Like, I did not care about him anymore. I am only here now because you made it like you wanted to be set up in my life as this person that I need. So now I'm going to treat you as a person that I need, as opposed to my man or my boyfriend, okay? So I would get drunk, he would have to take care of me. I would, oh my gosh, I'd end up all the way in bumfuck nowhere, and I'd call him and be like, need you to come get me. He'd come, he did everything I wanted him to do. He was just trying to win me over again. And for a while it didn't work. It did not work for a while. For a while it just did not work. I was just like, nah, not feeling him, didn't like him. We would argue all the time. All the time. He was always accusing me of cheating. He was always accusing me of lying, of just doing all sorts of stuff, and I wasn't. So that made me think, are you? So now I'm accusing him of doing these same things, which, might I add, the man has a history. So I'm like, what's, you know, like, who are you to question me? You're the one out here doing shit, not me. So you know, he just began to play that part again, not trusting me. We're going back and forth, whatever. So at this point, I'm graduated now. From there, he decides like, this is a thing. I'm kind of like, I'm single. Like, I just graduated, I'm single. So he just now became like this little leech that was like following me around all the time, okay? Like, he was just like attached to me, trying to like, you know, and I was like, freedom, excuse me, I'm free. No, not happening. But he started to like conjure up some little plan in his head on how he was going to become that person that I needed again. He would literally like stalk me, okay? Like, he would start hanging out with my friends. He would start showing up at places that I would frequent. He would just drive by. Like, this motherfucker was crazy. And I noticed it. And like, my friends and my family, they're like, yo, James is always following you. I'm like, right? Like, right. Like, I seriously can't breathe. If I'm over here talking to someone, he's like, burning a hole through me. And I'm just like, well, he'd be looking over here, not there, because I was over here, but whatever, it doesn't matter. He'd be burning a hole through me, and I'm just like, dude, these are just my friends. Like, and you're not my man. Okay, you're not my man. I couldn't get rid of him. Like, I couldn't escape him. I'm trying to get over you. I'm trying to move on, but you keep showing up and you keep talking to my friends. And then, you know what he does? You know what he does? He decides to become roommates with my best friend. You're kidding me, bro. He didn't even like my best friend. Like, he didn't even like him, okay? But I hung out there all the time. I pretty much lived there, and we weren't talking. I was not interested in the tit for tat anymore. Like, I'm just too old for this shit. I was like 17. I was like 19. But that's how I felt. Like, I'm too old for this. I don't have time for this. So he moved in there, and inevitably we start talking again. And basically, I'm like living there. Not officially, but like I'm basically living there. And I'm now miserable because this was the place I came to relax, to let go, to be loose, to have fun. And you're just here ruining shit. Like, why are you here? So we would argue so much in private, like so much, okay? And he would talk down to me. But none of this happened. I never saw this side of him, like this really evil, nasty side of him, until he moved in with my friend and we were like a couple. Like, we were a thing, we were public. Like, it was not like everybody just knows, which is what it was previously. Like, now we're dating. Like, we're a couple, we're together all the time. You see me, you see him. Like, that is now where we're at. He would call me out of my name like it was nothing. Like, I didn't even know my name anymore because he just always talked so crazy. He was always accusing me of being gay because I didn't enjoy having sex with him. But I didn't enjoy having sex with him because, like, there was no passion. There are no feelings here. I don't like you, okay? And you're ruining it for me. You're ruining it for me because it didn't have to be like this. If you didn't make me feel like I had to have sex with you and let it be an option, we could have better sex. If you were open to the things that I like as well and not just the things that you like, we could have better sex. If you treated me like a fucking human being, we could have better sex. Like, and I don't really like to talk about like the intercourse thing, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to say sex on YouTube, so I'm sorry. But I don't really like to talk about this topic just because I just don't feel like it's a real public like debacle, you know? But we're gonna talk about it because it's important to this situation. So when we would have sex, I would cry. Like, I'd literally cry, okay? Like, I mean, like tears, like actual tears, because I just didn't enjoy it because I just felt like a blow up doll, and he just literally just like needed to get like his rocks off. Like, I really feel like that's what I was, and I didn't like that, you know? Like, talk to me. Let me know that what I'm doing, like, you like it. Like, you know, like, I need you to talk to me. And when I would tell him, like, hey, I need you to talk to me, like, this is how I work, he just, like, gets so annoyed, and he's just like, I don't like that. Okay, well, you know what? Then this is not enjoyable. I cannot have fun if, you know, we can't both get what we want out of this. You know what I'm saying? So, sex, I literally just became a body that was there. Like, that's what he treated me as, and that's what I became. I needed out of this relationship. I started praying my way out of it because I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of hitting each other. I'm tired of talking bad to each other. I'm tired of the tit for tat thing. He has no drive at all. Like, he has no intentions on doing anything differently. Like, we can't grow together. Like, this relationship just has no potential to go anywhere. But I don't know how to leave because every time I try to leave, he does something. He does something. Like, towards the end, whenever his old tactics wouldn't work, he would get really drunk, get in the car, and he'd call me and be like, I'm driving to your house right now to get you, and if you don't get in the car, I'm gonna wreck it. And like, great, so now I have to come spend the night, you know, because I would feel guilty, like, oh my gosh, what if he does wreck it? What if he does die? Then I'm going to feel responsible for that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling people how I feel, but they don't believe me because we're still together and because in public, he is a saint. The man is a saint in public, okay? He is an upstanding citizen, okay? He worships the ground I walk on. He treats me like gold and I look like the monster. But really what you guys don't see is that behind closed doors, this man is evil, okay? He has been mentally, emotionally, verbally abusing me for years. You guys just don't see that. You see my reaction. No one would believe it. They'd be like, nah, not James. Not James, he's a great, no, yes, James, okay, James. So I'm praying my way out, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to move. Like, I literally had to move across the country to get away from this motherfucker. Now, I wanted him to come with me initially. Why? I don't know. I was comfortable with him. No matter how toxic, I was comfortable. I wanted him to come with me, and he basically just told me, you are never gonna be able to do that. You're never gonna be able to move to LA. You're never gonna be able to start a new life. Like, this is always gonna be who you are, is basically what he said. So I'm like, okay, watch me. Now, although I bought my ticket, although I quit my job, although I was all packed up and ready to go, I wasn't super set on leaving yet. Like, I wasn't, because we were still like connected and we were still like trying to work things out, or at least I thought. Until it all hit the fan about 2 days before I was moving to LA. I get a call from my friend who lives on the other side of the country in LA. I'm from Pennsylvania. She lives in LA. I'm moving there with her. She tells me that James slept with a girl who was supposed to be our friend, and they are like a thing. And I'm shocked. I'm not really shocked, but I'm shocked because I knew the girl. I knew they were sleeping together. I knew it, okay? I just knew it. I didn't have any proof. He started like taking his phone to the bathroom with him, changing his passcode, doing all the extra stuff. So I knew, but I was just shocked because I had asked James, and I also asked my best friend who was his roommate. They both lied. Lying is my biggest pet peeve. Just tell me the truth. Just tell me the truth. Like, that's all that I ask, just tell me the truth. So yeah, he completely broke my heart right there. I'm like, I spent all this time trying to get away from you for you to just like leave, like as if I'm nothing, which the entire time he treated me as if I were disposable, as if I were nothing. So at this point, I really thought I was nothing. Like, I was moving to LA with no self-esteem, no confidence in myself. Like, this person that you see now, she's only existed for about 2 years. Like, seriously, maybe a year. Like, this person didn't exist. This level of confidence, it did not exist. That relationship destroyed it. That relationship, like, first of all, I didn't know that relationships that were like that were not normal. So I didn't realize that it was abuse until recently. So it just really took a major toll on my life. Like, I spent like 2 years as a lesbian. Like, seriously, as a lesbian, I spent 2 years that way. Oh my gosh, I really didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was at all. I had no sense of identity, no self-confidence, no self-esteem. And not only that, I always just felt like I was just nothing, okay, like nothing. So now that I'm none of these things and I realize, oh my gosh, I was being mentally, verbally, emotionally abused and thought that it was my fault. Thought that I was the reason that this man has no respect for women. Thought that I was the reason that our relationship was like shit. And I played my part in it. I definitely did, but I have to say, he took me there. I wasn't like that. I was not like that in the beginning, and I never want to go through a relationship like that again. Let me just say that. I won't go through a relationship like that again, and that's pretty much why I'm here. I feel like if I'm ever gonna move on, I gotta let this go. I gotta tell the truth. I gotta put my truth out there so I can move on. So I can move on and I can have effective relationships, positive relationships, and so that this clown does not hold so much weight over me and my life anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's it. I just want to say, if you are out there involved in domestic violence, honey, you can get through it. You can get through it. You will get through it. There is a rainbow at the end. This is proof. I never thought I'd be confident. I never thought I'd feel like I'm sexy. I just never thought that I was smart or anything like that. I never thought I was anything more than a body. As crazy as it is, I'm really glad that it did happen. And I'm glad that I had the time to look back and to reflect and to understand that I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. I spent a lot of years living and playing a part that I'm not, because someone else was just reflecting what they are on to me. Wow. Jeez. It feels good to finally get that out. I think I hit all the stuff I wanted to hit. I think. Wow. I keep doing it. I keep doing it. No pun intended. No pun intended. Gosh. I really do make jokes out of things that are just, they're not actually funny, but I can't help it. I just have a really like dark sense of humor, to be quite honest. But yeah, I'm done here, y'all. I'm done. Catch you guys in the next one.